Welcome to today's Meet the Funder session, where you'll learn more about the Prevention Leadership Programme. The session will be delivered by William Townsend and Katie Gregg. Over to you, Will.
Hi everyone. Me and Katie are here today to talk through the Prevention System Leadership Programme opportunity. My name is Will, and I work in public health for the council as a public health programme officer. And Katie?
Yeah, thanks, Will. My name's Katie. I work across the integrated health and care system as a program manager, and one of the areas I support is workforce and link with our workforce strategy and how we deliver projects to support that delivery.
Great. And I should just say that I've got half a headset this morning, hence my hand attached to my head for the entire time. So otherwise it would just fall off. So I will hand over to you, Katie, for the first slide. Just let me know when you want me to move on to the animations.
Brilliant. Oh, I think you can bring them all up
Just
actually
bring
for
them
the
up.
purpose of
Okay.
this one. Yeah, sorry. Thanks, Will. So just to give some context to the kind of program, we have got a health and care people strategy is what we call it, which is all about developing our health and care workforce in the borough of Haywood, Middleton and Rochdale. And that strategy was kind of developed the beginning of 2023. And over the past year, we've kind of been laying the foundations for that strategy delivery. And then one of these projects fits in with that strategy. But as part of that, what we're developing is this kind of virtual health and care academy that looks at it's like kind of a vehicle for how we deliver the strategy, and really speaks to our wider workforce goal, which is to grow, recruit and retain our workforce for now and in the future, whilst also providing opportunities for our local people as well. And that's really crucial. And when we talk about our workforce, we don't just mean our employed staff within the statutory sector. We also mean our community and voluntary sector as well, volunteers, as well as our wider kind of health and care providers that might be sort of privately run, such as like a care home or a care at home provider as well. So it's a real range and mix of people. And this slide just kind of shows what is our ambition of our health and care academy. We have kind of what we call three pillars to that, which are one is around developing our future workforce pipeline, one is around developing career pathways for our current workforce to sort of see where they can grow and develop, and then the third is around the development of our system leadership and organizational development. And that's where this opportunity kind of sits, and I've highlighted that in one of the bullet points on the far right column, which is all about providing an integrated system leadership program. This just kind of gives a bit of a context of where this sits in our kind of system strategy, so a bit of background for everyone. Okay, we'll move on. So the other bits reasoning is kind of why did we want to do this, and where did this come from? So linked to the strategy, we know that leadership is really important. It's a really important attribute, and it spans across organisations as well. Also in HMR, we have some really deep-rooted ways of working to do with integration, cooperation, and we really want to ensure that as we're developing leaders going forward, that they have those kind of skills embedded within their leadership style as well, and that we're really setting up leaders to support and facilitate our wider sector. We currently have quite a number of different workforce leadership offers sort of working in parallel, but what they tend to be is kind of what I would say bound by an organization. So you might talk about system leadership, but it's only in the context of one organization, whereas really what we want to do, and what the integration part of that is about, crossing those boundaries, so that we can learn and collaborate from one another. We co-produce what those leadership qualities are that we want them to look like with our community, that are identified as important, and so that we can really focus on reducing inequalities and therefore improving prevention as well. So how do we embed prevention into our leaders' thoughts and ways of working going forward? Okay. So what we're looking for then, and this is what we're here today, to kind of understand a little bit more about, is to develop that kind of cross-system leadership curriculum, and for that to be co-produced, involving kind of all the different people that are in the little diagram at the bottom. So that's people who are known as like active citizens, people who are subject matter experts, people who are kind of living and feeling it in our communities, people in front-facing roles, and people who are decision makers. So it's really co-produced and cross-system as well. And we really want to do that maybe up to over 6 months, to develop what that program could look like and that curriculum could look like. And then the second part of it would be then to pilot that program and evaluate it, seeing if there's any things that we could tweak and change. And it would be an absolutely learning process as we go along. And we really value and want whoever kind of takes forward this bid to kind of really be driving that forward. And we'll work with people as well. It's important to say that whilst we want the representation of all those different people, we're not going to just suddenly leave you to it and say crack on. This will be absolutely working in conjunction with myself and Will and Helen Shiko as well, who couldn't be here today, to kind of support you in identifying those people from the kind of statutory provider part of the system. Okay.
So thank you, Katie. So what we hope through the co-production exercises, events, whatever it is you'd propose to do, we'd be looking really for four questions to be answered. So what are the priority leadership qualities and gaps across organisations in the borough? Which prevention leadership topics and course formats should be included in a curriculum? So, that might be whether that be something like inequalities, or, it might even be about the borough of Rochdale itself. That would be entirely through the co-production process. Which ideas, learning content and activities could be used to address these gaps and needs? And how can this approach to improving leadership across organisations and the system be sustained? So they're the four questions really that we're looking to see being answered through the co-production. So in terms of criteria, so to be eligible for this, you must be an organisation based in the borough of Rochdale, or have a demonstrable connection to the borough of Rochdale. So you might not necessarily be based there, but you've got a long-standing and evidenced track record of working in the borough. And you must also have a written constitution, or at least be in the process of writing one and be able to demonstrate that that's the case. So the application process itself, quite straightforward, really. So you can apply by submitting a 2-page proposal to myself. There's my email address, including a budget, by the 24th of May of this year. Your proposal should detail any experience you have in delivering similar work and in influencing system change, and it should also explain how you'd go about answering those 4 questions. You'll be assessed by a panel, including people from the council, the NHS, the voluntary sector, and you'll be assessed against your experience and your ability to deliver this project, your proposed approach to answering those 4 questions, your readiness to deliver the project, and your ability to provide that really needed robust challenge and influence to the system. And we expect to be able to tell you the outcome of your application by the 7th of June. So in just under a month. So in terms of timelines, we're at the kind of first stage here, finding an organisation to coordinate this work. We'd then be looking for over the summer months and early autumn to work together to co-produce this curriculum. Then over the next 5 to 6 months from kind of October time, it'd be about delivering that and prototyping that curriculum as a test to see what does and doesn't work. And then towards the end of the next financial year, it'd be around evaluating how well it worked and what might need to change. And then in terms of the kind of long-term ambition, we really want to be able to sell this offer to potential investors, and investors being, you know, those various organizations that operate in the borough and already support their own leadership offers, but within the boundaries of their own organization. Then ideally, yeah, in April 2025 and beyond, we'd have that kind of longer term agreement and rollout of the leadership course. So that's the opportunity. I don't think I put anywhere how much funding is available. So it's £12,000. That's an important thing to mention. So yeah, I think I'll stop there for any questions or comments that anyone might have.
Just before anyone comes in as well, just to kind of add to what Will said about this sort of rolling out further in future years about our long-term ambition, it's just really important to say that that wouldn't be something we'd be expecting the group that was successful to do that on their own. That is absolutely a responsibility that myself and Will would be taking forward to kind of really support writing that business case to say, look, instead of investing all our money on separate leadership courses, why don't we do this one thing together? That's kind of our long-term ambition that we can hopefully evidence within the year. So just wanted to kind of clarify that it won't be something that we would expect the group to be kind of doing that for us. We would be taking the responsibility, but doing it with you as well.